Okay, so we are going to unbox something that I have unboxed before. This is actually a custom Venom I unboxed years ago. Probably one of the first 5 statues that I unboxed in the channel. But this time, I actually own the statue. I bought the exact statue that I unboxed years ago. So we're gonna start the unboxing. We got the base. So we have Venom here. The edition size is 45. I got number 40. And it's sculpted by Miguel Hernandez Urbina. Miguel is actually one of my favorite sculptor due to his textures. Right off the bat is we have some portraits. As I recall, this is one of my favorite portraits of this statue actually. Very good paint on the teeth, gotta say. And it's still quite impressive. Here we have is a switch out tongue. This is actually the first statue that I received with switch out tongues. This is not made out of clear resin. The shortest tongue available for this statue. We have the second tongue switch out. So this is the longest tongue available and it's kind of forming an S. Okay, we have the medium length tongue, I guess. And yeah, it's definitely made out of clear resin and just painted reddish. And finally, we have the portrait where you can put the tongues in. Let's use the medium sized one. There you go. There's a magnet, easily installed. I really love how they did this thing right here, the gums, where it's stretching. I think it's also clear resin, but I could be wrong. But definitely the best Venom portrait so far that I've seen. Moving on to the second layer. So all the portraits are actually on the first box. Okay, so this is the transformation portrait. I think this is very unique when I first unbox it, and I still think this looks like a drunk guy.
We are drunk.
However, the transformation does look pretty good. Maybe if this was repainted, it could be better. Now we have part of the base. So we have the gargoyle here. So it goes right. There we go. Easy to install. No problem there. The gargoyle does have a keyhole beneath his feet, and which obviously goes to the base. Time to unbox the second one. The second one is actually fairly light. As I recall, Venom will be here. Venom is quite heavy. Okay, Venom out. The thing I really love about this Venom is actually the paint. And looking at the Venom now, I gotta say, the paint is still quite impressive. And actually, now that I've seen him again, kinda feels like this is a different scale for Venom. Kinda feels like 1 3/5 scale. But I'm not really bothered anyway since it's Venom. I think Venom can be bigger or smaller. So, gonna remove the thing here from his hand. Okay, no breaks, which is good. Finally, let's put on my favorite portrait switch out. And there we go. We have completely assembled Venom. Okay, so let's do some quick measurements for this Venom statue. I think the highest point of the statue is his back. So the statue stands at around 27.5 inches tall. As for the width, it is the wings of the gargoyle and it's around 22 inches wide. And lastly is the depth. It's from the base to the head of the gargoyle, which is around 17 inches deep. Okay, first thing that definitely stands out to me is the paint. 100% great application by the factory. Not sure what the prototype of this looked like or who painted it, but you could mistakenly think that this Venom is professionally painted. Just look at the base. It's multi-layers of paint that makes it just amazing. And going to Venom himself, I really love the metallic bluish paint they use. It is very unique. And as for the portraits, all of them are painted amazing. Venom teeth is painted really well. Both have unique character and looks pretty awesome in my opinion. I'm sorry, this is just my favorite Venom of all time and that's why I bought it. Moving on to the sculpt. The base has lots of textures and small details that gives you a hint that it's made out of stone or concrete. Well, it is in fact a statue. The textures are just well complemented by the paint and making them really pop. Venom has a lot of symbiote veins all throughout his body. You could also see some actual veins but are less visible since the symbiote veins are the ones that are highlighted more by the paint. The stretch out gums on the portraits are also done nicely. It looks pretty good, especially that it's complemented with green paint application. Also worth noting is that this statue has a portrait with switchable tongues, which is this one. I think this was the first of its kind and very creative of the commissioner. It has a small, medium, and large size tongue. Depends on what you feel like displaying. Not really a fan of these portraits though, but the medium size tongue is definitely my favorite length. The smaller one is a little bit hard to remove once installed, and the longer one just feels too long. But all the portraits still looks pretty damn good. Also, it might not be too obvious on camera, but the tongue is actually made out of clear resin. But it's painted really well to complement the clear resin and the sculpt. So just a few things I don't like about the statue. First is most likely the scale. This is probably 1 3/5 scale or maybe even 1/3. It's just not that obvious as he is in a crouching pose, but he is definitely big. The good thing is some versions of Venom is bigger than others. So you could still say this is quarter scale or whatever scale it could be. The size just gives the statue even more presence than it already has. Second would be the seam on his neck, which is here. Well, it's the price you pay for having switch out heads, but it will never be visible once you display Venom properly. It can only be seen if you look at him on his side. Actually, the dark paint on the statue also kinda hides it. Third would be the wings of the gargoyle. It just adds some more unwanted width to the statue. But it does look awesome though, just me nitpicking the statue. Last, and I think I've also mentioned this in my old video, is the transformation portrait. The decals on his eye isn't aligned pretty well, making him kinda look weird. I think if they just painted it with white, it would have been a lot better. Still a great sculpt and concept on the portrait. Maybe it would also be a cool addition if the tongues on this portrait can be used on the unmasked portrait as well. This is currently my favorite Venom statue. It's not the best of all time, but I do love this Venom a lot, hence why I bought it. I think it's a great timing as the wing Venom is set to ship soon, and would definitely love to display both this Venom together with that Venom. So that's a wrap on this unboxing and review of Venom. Let me know down in the comments below on what you guys think of this statue. For more fan art or custom statue updates, subscribe to the channel and stay tuned every Sunday 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for my weekly videos where I cover most new and updates on custom statue collecting. This is Carl and see you in the next one.